Hello again everyone, Joanne with StampingInTheValley.com and welcome to my craft room. We're going to make this adorable little card here. I used some of the Christmas Around the World paper. I love that plaid. And this is Cherry Cobbler, basic black, Christmas Around the World. The Cherry Cobbler is 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2, and it will open like this. That's your card base. Your next layer is basic black, and it's at 5 1/4 by 4. And then your Christmas Around the World DSP layer is 5 by 3 3/4. This is cut out from the layering squares right here, the largest scalloped one. And I used the Ready for Christmas bundle in our holiday catalog. And don't forget about the cute little holiday things we have in our annual catalog. This is not a bundle. You can buy them separately. This is the Cookie Cutter Christmas with the punch. I've used this a lot this year, especially for the craft fairs. But I just love that Santa. I did put some Wink of Stella on him. I don't know if you can see on his beard that little shimmer there. I'll try to catch it in the light for you. But very, very adorable. And just some gold thread. Nice card. We'll be back in just a minute and put it together. Okay, the way that I made my little Santa and my table and the cookies was I used my Memento black ink, because then I colored them in with my Stampin' Blends. I've really been enjoying coloring with these Stampin' Blends, guys. I did some of this work with some of our markers, which I love our markers, but I have to admit I'm a little partial to these blends. So I took my Santa and I inked him up with the Memento black ink. Let's see, where can I put this that I'm not on top of everything? Oh, it's okay. Right there. And because I know the way that the punch orientates, I'm going to punch him down here in this corner so that I maximize my paper. Very nice. Nice crisp image. I'm using my foam pad because I have photopolymer stamps. Okay, now let's go ahead and do the table. So pretty. Okay, and this will be cut out with a framelit. Just perfect. And then my cookies and my little note to Santa. Perfect. And then the top of his little hat. His little pom-pom. And this will be punched out, so I'm going to put it on a corner. Okay, just like that. Let me show you what I mean by orientating to the punch. See this punch, you don't need like the whole piece of paper in there. You just want the Santa. So what you're going to do then is slip this in here, and then you're going to get your Santa like that. Here are the little round objects, and they are perfect for this little pom-pom right there. The little pom-pom I did with Wink of Stella. So that's just what I mean by orientating to the punch, just to maximize your paper. Now I'm not going to go through and color everything with you guys, but I wanted to show you. I just love these Stampin' Blends. I'm going to take... I wanted to show you the little cookies up here because I'm going to take my crumb cake right here. And this is the dark crumb cake. There's a light and a dark, and there's a thick end marker and the thin end. We're going to use the brush tip, the thicker tip, okay? Now, Stampin' Up, like I keep saying, you guys, I'm not an artist. Stampin' Up does it for me. See the little cookies right there? Let me bring that up. See the little cookies right there? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and color them. And this just, when you put these markers down, oh my gosh, guys, you're going to love the feel of these and the coverage. Okay, now, I did nothing. Chocolate chip cookies are brown. But because Stampin' Up! Does all of the, I don't know, detail for us, look how cute they came. And that's all I did was a dark crumb cake. And then I just made the little dish an accent color. You can accent with any color that you want. I just happen to absolutely love Bermuda Bay. So that's what I use down here. Just like that. Perfect. Okay, now my Santa, we have a cherry cobbler, a dark and a light. Okay, a dark and a light. I didn't bother to shade. I just used the darker cherry cobbler. Because it's so small of an area. Okay, so I did not bother to shade it at all. Of course you can if you wanted to. I just thought he looked great red. just like this, coming out to the edges and around, and that is how I did my Santa. Okay, now my table right here, again I used my dark crumb cake. I love these markers, as you can tell, and I used my this is a dark smoky slate. So I took my crumb cake and I made, like that this was the wood part of the table. Just like that. I just love the way these markers, it's amazing. When you get them in your hand, they're so different from just a marker because the color just spreads so beautifully. Just like that. Okay, and I come all the way up here and then did the top of it, but we're not going to go through all of that. Then I came down here with my smoky slate and I made the legs. I really have gotten into doing a lot of coloring. When I was looking at the New Occasions catalog, I realized that I was picking things out to color because of these markers, because I really do like coloring with these markers. How many times can I say that? Okay. Okay, see? Perfect. But that's how I colored everything. These have a framelit. This is a punch. Okay? So let's move this aside now that we went through all of that. I'll make another card with all of that. And let's bring our card in. And I've got my cherry cobbler base and then my basic black. This I'm going to put down with some snail. Just like that. Bring our card base in. And there's our 1/8 of an inch border around because we've taken 1/4 of an inch off of the dimension. Now the Around the World Christmas DSP, aren't these adorable? You could do either side, whatever you wanted to do. I happen to really like the plaid. I love the nutcrackers are adorable. I might have to do a card with those. And again, just leaving our border. Just like that, okay? Now, I've got my square that I cut from my square framelits, and it will go in the center, but first, back up, put your snail down here in the middle, just lay down some good glue right there. And then take your gold metallic thread, if I can pick it up. It's so thin, but it leaves the nicest little accent. Of course, I've got it stuck in every bit. Oh, look what I've done. This is amazing. Okay. I took the backs off of everything to save time, so of course, yeah, only on camera. Okay, so I take my little end there, and I stick it in the snail. If you guys have watched my videos, you've seen me do this before, but if you haven't, this is a great time to learn. And I like to do 3 loops, and I just keep sticking it into the snail that's in the middle of the card. Okay, and I just kind of loop it over. I like to do 3 loops on the top and 3 on the bottom. You can do as many or as little as you'd like. There's no right or wrong or rhyme or reason to any of this. It's just what I like. And you do it just the way you like it. Okay, we're going to put that in there, pull that over, and one more down here. And we'll get some snips. Cut that right there. Okay. Just right there. Now we're going to take our square. See how this is? What a mess, right? But once you take this and put it over top of it, it just adds that little bit of accent to your card. That it's like you don't need much, because the paper back here, your DSP, is a nice focal point. So you don't need much, but you just want a little something to give you just a little, like, hey, look at this kind of accent, okay? Now, the other thing I wanted to show you was with the table here, because it is so thin. Okay, look at where I've put all of my dimensionals, and look at the size of them. This is actually a half of this part right here of the dimensional pack. Don't ever throw your sides away, because you'll need them. So I cut right here, and then I even cut them in half when I need them even smaller, and then just cut that in half. Okay, and that's what I used on the bottom of the table, but I used whole ones on the tops of the table. Okay, and I put a lot of dimensionals on this because this is skinny and you don't want it to collapse. So here's my little table, all colored in. How pretty. I'm going to put it right here. We're almost done with this card, guys. For Santa, we love you. And there's my cookies and my little Bermuda Bay plate. And I'm going to put that right on top of the table. And then bring my Santa in. And this one I used the sides also, right here, of the dimensionals. Okay, and here's my Santa all ready. And I don't know if you can see the shimmer from the Wink of Stella or not on it. Okay, and I'm just going to put him right here, and we have got it. How cute. Love these cards. Isn't that pretty? Thanks so much for tuning in with me today. I hope you enjoyed this quick and easy card that we put together. Please go to stampinginthevalley.com, click on the big blue button, order any and all of your Stampin' Up! Supplies. Remember, just for the rest of November, these are the 2 free card kits for the month. You get all the embellishments, but no stamped images. Please watch the video at the end of this one. Thanks again for watching, and happy crafting today.